I had a dream that I have not told another living soul until right now, tonight. It's going to come out of my mouth because it came true. Hey, happy campers, I'm Carla. Welcome to Singing Nomad. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. Tonight, I'm sitting by the lake with a beautiful campfire, watching the sunset. It is gorgeous, nice and still. Don't you love it when there's no wind and it's still? Tonight, I have a campfire tale for you, and it's not scary, don't worry. It is a tale about, well, it's a true story. I wrote a song about dreams. You know, when we're young, we have all kinds of dreams and just outlandish dreams. And then we grow up and you go, yeah, you know, that's not really what I wanted. But it's good to dream. We need to practice dreaming. I'm all about vision boards and setting a goal and going for it. When I was 12 or 13, I had a dream. And not the dream that you dream at night, but a dream that I was shooting for. And honestly, for me, as a little country girl, it was pretty outlandish. In fact, I thought there's a better chance for me being an astronaut to Mars. That's how far off it was. But I still wanted it. I desired it. Well, I'm 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. And in my bedroom, I have posters of a male singing group. Can you relate? In the 70s. And I had all their LP albums, you know, the big LPs. And my brother would buy me them for Christmas. And this is how much I love this boy band, right? When my brother and I would get in a fight, when the parents weren't home, he's 5 years older than me, and he would get so mad. And he'd say, he knew which button to push. And he said, I'm going to come in your room and I'm going to break all your albums. And I was like, oh, don't do that. I knew he wouldn't do it because my dad would light his butt on fire. But anyway, who are we talking about? We're talking about the Osmond Brothers. Now, most little girls, they really love Donnie, and I like Donnie too, but I was an equal opportunist. I like all the Osmond Brothers, all of them, even little Jimmy. He was so cute. Well, I had this dream. I wanted to sing with the Osmonds on television. And, you know, we sang as a gospel group, and I was on TV. So, you know, it's outlandish, but is it? You know, I was doing some of those things anyway. So years later, 18 to be exact, I went to Branson, and I didn't even have to audition. They hired me on the spot for the Showboat Branson Belle. And you ought to Google it because it was their maiden voyage, and how they launched the ship was on banana peels. Crazy. So we were the very first dinner show, it was musical, on the boat, and I loved it, enjoyed it. Well, guess which group had a theater in Branson at that time anyway? The Osmond Brothers. And so all the entertainers got, back then, $5 passes. And if you showed your pass that you were from another theater, you could get in and you could see any show. Well, I saw the Osmonds, I don't know how many times. And at the end of their show, they would take requests. And I would say, do Crazy Horses, Crazy Horses. Wow! It was real rocky, like a rock song. And they had a lot of senior citizens there. So they tried to kind of ignore me, but I'd just keep going, do Crazy Horses, and they'd finally do it. And I just loved it. I went back over and over. I took my kids there. I was like, the Osmonds, I'm standing a few feet from them. It was wonderful. At Christmas time, they were having a Christmas special, and they were bringing in Bob Hope for something special. And so the producer chose entertainers from a few of the theaters around, and our theater got chosen. And Marty, the entertainment manager, chose me and the leading man, which is Ricky Joe Jessup. And Ricky Joe, I mean, is that a South Carolina name or what? He didn't even call me Carla. He called me Carla. It was so funny. He was my buddy. And so we got chosen to go sing at this Christmas special and open for Bob Hope. Well, I thought that was pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. So we got to go backstage, and Ricky Joe and I met Bob Hope. And he's just like you think he was in the movies, you know, bring ching, you know, all these little quips and little jokes. And He was sweet. He was very frail in his 90s, and I was glad I got to meet him. That was cool. But the real dream that came true was that we were to be outside of the Grand Palace, and all the entertainers, we were dressed to the nines for a Christmas special. It was televised. Yeah. And so we dressed up, and we got on these risers. We were all going to sing, all these entertainers from the theaters were going to sing Christmas carols. Well, Ricky Joe and I were on the end of the risers, and the producer was telling us where to stand, where to go, and it was really nerve-wracking and tense, and they were trying to get the lighting right and everything, and it was kind of fun atmosphere. So we're standing there, and I look to my left to see who's standing beside me, and it's a tall guy with dark hair, and I noticed he had bed hair in the back, and I was like, ooh, I don't think he knows he has bed hair in the back. We're on television. But I felt sorry for him. I had compassion because, you know, at peak season, it was grueling. Those shows are grueling. You do 3 or 4 a day, then meet and greet, take pictures, sign autographs, talk with people, and do it all over again. And some days you would do it like 7 days a week. And so I thought, oh my gosh, he's done shows all day. He took a nap just to be ready to do this Bob Hope special thing. So I'm talking to Ricky Joe, and this guy turns to me and says hello. And he says, hi, how are you doing? He was really friendly. And I said, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you. It's going to be a great night tonight. Yeah, it's going to be good. Oh my gosh. It's Alan Osmond. He is standing right beside me. I know, I seem silly to you, but this was huge to me, okay? I'd had this dream of singing with him on television since I was like 13. So this is 18 years later, I'm 33. So I turned to Ricky Joe and I say, and he's like, what is wrong with you? Calm down. And I said, no, you don't understand. This is Alan Osmond. And so I looked down the row, and every single one of the Osmond Brothers were lined up right beside us, and we started the show. We started singing the Christmas carol. I think it was Hark the Herald Angels or something like that. And he sung out with this strong voice, and he really projected, and so do I when I sing. I'm really loud. And so I started harmonizing with him, and it was just beautiful. It was wonderful. And then it dawned on me, and I started weeping. Not because of him, but because of him. I realized I'm singing with the Osmond Brothers on television. And as an added bonus, Bob Hope's standing right there. And I got to meet him backstage. He was so sweet. I just was like, oh my gosh. I never told another living soul that dream. And it was intense within me, okay, for several years. I got the desire of my heart. It doesn't usually come when you want it, where you want it, how you want it, packaged like you want it. But I believe we are all created to dream and to have desires. And yeah, some of them are, silly. They're never going to come to pass, and you probably wouldn't want them to. But there are those few things, And the good book says that delight yourself in him, and he'll give you the desires of your heart. And so for about 35 years, maybe 40, I have made a habit. He's my best friend, and I get up and talk to him just like you're sitting there. I've delighted myself in him for many years. And that's just one dream and desire that he has brought to pass. I can't even tell you. There's not enough time. A whole list of things that he has done for me that I have wanted since I was a kid. So he's good all the time. Do you have a dream? Do you have something that you have intensely longed for many years maybe? I would write it down. I would even go so far as putting it on a vision board where you can see it. Do a picture, something to represent that. But then you can't just sit around wishing. I had to go to Branson. I had to do things that were very scary that I wasn't used to. It was out of my realm. And I got some of my goals done, some of the desires of my heart, because I was willing to step out. You got to get out of the boat sometimes. You got to have faith. So I just want to tell you that little campfire tale to lead into this song. You know, when I was younger, I've said before that I made so many mistakes and I stumbled. But, you know, God is so faithful. He'll pick you up. So I hope you enjoy this song. I don't even have a name for it yet. We'll call it the Dream Song. So remember to dream. It's important. And don't give up. Remember to step out in faith and do the scary. You might just get a reward that blows your mind. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you down the road.
When I was a little girl, I believed in fairy tales. My expectations were so high. Then I grew up and met the real world, and it kicked dust into my eyes. I fell and skinned my knees. You came and rescued me. Things are perfect in your time. Your plans are greater than mine. Break the barriers, tear down the walls. Face the challenge before the curtain falls. I'm not a dreamer lost in the night. I'll see them come true in the morning light. A whisper in the wind speaks my name, calling me out of shadows of shame. I'll walk the path paved by his desire, fanning the flame of my inner fire. Through the doubt and all the tears, you gave me faith to persevere. I will dance with destiny, going where the Spirit leads me. Break the barriers, tear down the walls. Face the challenge before the curtain falls. You're not a dreamer lost in the night. You'll see them come true in the morning light. Break the barriers, tear down the walls. Face the challenge before the curtain falls. You're not a dreamer lost in the night. You'll see them come true in the morning light.
Oh my gosh, I just heard something. There was a skunk here earlier. Okay.